he had the debris that had markings on it, didn't he?
Yeah. The dad came back from the ranch with Mac Brazel.
Yep.
And one other military guy, and he woke his kid up in the middle of the night, like, you got to see this stuff. I'm waking you up. You got to see this. And he showed him the material, the paper, the I-beams with the symbols, blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. And I knew him, so I knew someone who handled the debris. There's still pieces out there, by the way. But I talked to a gentleman out there, and he's like, yeah, there's still some of those pieces of Roswell out here. I said, how do you know? He goes, because I know the ranchers that have it. In fact, I got to touch one of them. I was like, really? Do you think they'd talk to me? He goes, I don't think so. They don't talk to outsiders, and they don't talk to anybody about that. So I had a lead on that. I don't have the guy's name, but that's a side story. Roswell, of course, you look into it. They make the announcement that they recover this thing. Then they recant how many hours later. They have that press conference. They throw debris down on the ground.
Right.
Well,
the balloon.
2 out of the 3, Ramey and DuBose and Marcel. Ramey kept shut, but DuBose and Marcel both went on the record later. That was a cover story for what really crashed. It was not of this earth. I cover it in the phenomenon quite extensively. But I was making probably out of the blue. It was probably out of the blue, or it might have been my first UFO talk in San Francisco I was telling you about. And my partner at the time, Boris Zuboff, lived in this apartment complex on the top floor with a view of Dolores Park, really nice. And he one day he goes, my landlady, she's in her 80s, wants to have tea with you. And it was in the 90s. I said, what about? He goes, I don't know. She found out we were doing a documentary on UFOs, and she wanted to have tea. I was like, okay, I'll have tea with her. Sure.
I love tea.
Yeah, I love tea. I'm English. I was born in England. My dad used to drink 20, 30 cups a day. I used to jokingly see, how many cups of tea could I bring my dad before he says, he doesn't want to. One day I just brought him cup after cup after cup, because he's always asking. It's kind of a pain in the ass to make him a tea. And I got to 25, and he's like, I'm good. It's like, wow. Yeah. So anyway, we have tea, and she says, I don't want to go public or anything. But I found out you're doing this documentary on UFOs, and I want you to know that I think it was her husband or someone that she was. I think it was her husband that was deeply in. He was a high level scientific researcher for the government, and back in 1950, he told me. And she goes, I haven't talked to anybody about this. She was in her 80s telling me this. She didn't want any money. She didn't want to go on the wreck. She wanted me to know. He said that a UFO, a flying saucer, crashed in the desert of New Mexico, and there were aliens recovered. He told me that in 1950. Nobody was talking about that. She goes, I've held it in all this time. And she goes, this guy was so solid and so credible and so honest. And he told me that. That happened, and I thought, why would she make that up?
No reason to make it up.
And you take that with all the rest of the stuff that's going on and all the military. I had the distinct advantage. I got to go to the 50th anniversary of the Roswell crash, and at the time, it was 1997, July. There were a lot of people still alive, because if you're in your 20s or 30s, you're in your 70s and 80s, right? A lot of people that I got to meet. I was so glad I got to go. That firsthand witnesses of all different walks of life, witnesses of the debris and whatever. So that's primarily why I'm totally. And of course, I've talked to Intel folks. I even know where I was told where the alien bodies were from Roswell, and the individual that told me where they were in California, Southern.
That's where they went to.
That's what it was said to me. And
I understand.
And I said to this individual, I can't reveal this individual's name, but we were at dinner having wine, and it slipped out. And I was like, well, I was thinking I thought they'd be on the East Coast. Really?
You should always bring wine to interviews.
Totally. And then the next day I brought it up, and the individual was like, no, I didn't. I said, you did. Actually, I heard it loud and clear. No, I didn't. You did. No, I didn't. Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
It just slipped out.
Sure.
So apparently there's some body, or at least one body from the Roswell in Southern California. I'm not sure exactly where, but I heard Southern California.
Yeah, I heard one went to Los Alamos.
Would have gone to the east, I thought, because I was told recently that I don't know if it was alive entities or the entities in general on the East Coast. I got that much out of this individual. It's like, well, where, because I want to know where the damn bodies from Virginia went.
Right.
And oh, I think I know. And I was like, can you tell me more? Like, East Coast. And I went, and then the individual's like, that's all I'm giving you. I'm not saying anything more.
Oh, God.
And because I'm like curious too, like even if I can't report on it publicly, I still want to know.
Yes.
Right. So I was asking this,
and then we give you wine.
Cocktail. Yeah, we had we were together at the Age of Disclosure premiere in New York City. And we watched the movie, and there was a Q&A, and then afterwards there were drinks at a bar and like food or whatever. And I saw this person I've been really wanting to talk to, and I talked to him once before. Standing over the bar with a drink. I was like, good sign. Went over there, got myself a little whiskey. Hey, we start chatting it up. And I didn't want to be too forceful because I can be a little overwhelming sometimes because I'm so curious and I get so excited. But I was like, I heard that, there's not really like that many people like in the real know, like that with the percentage of, how many people really know the bigger picture. He goes, say about 10 people on the planet have the bigger picture. Wow. Whoa. What would you consider like where you're at? He's like, probably one of 30.
Wow.
And I was like, okay. What about like Hal Puthoff? Because Hal Puthoff told me, he goes, James, this is how much I know. This is how much I've shared with you. He's like, Hal's probably one of 50, I would say. My God.